Hey everyone, it's Jackie from Energy Before Matter Life Coaching, and I'm here with Denise, who is a mindset mentor. And I'm really excited to have her on the show because I know a lot of you have been talking about shifting your mindset and mindfulness. And so, yeah, welcome, Denise. How are you?
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I am great. How are you doing, Jackie?
Today's pretty fantastic, much better than yesterday.
Yeah,
But
totally get that for sure.
and I guess I just wanted to start off with, what's your story? What brought you to where you are now as a mindset mentor?
Well, at the risk of maybe going on forever, no, I won't. I was in an abusive marriage for 10 and a half years. Uh, Emotionally, not so physically, he didn't really touch me, but I would have taken that over the mental and emotional abuse any. Um, and I got myself out of that. I was really close to suicide. I was really close to, or I was just an empty shell. There was really nothing to me. But I managed to get myself out and start a new life, and came across some personal growth kind of stuff, and it made me feel better. It helped fill me back up. It helped heal me. Um, and so I kind of just wanted more and more and more. And as I was feeling better, and even more better all the time, was I felt called to help other women do the same thing, because I
Mhm.
knew how great it was making me feel, and how it was allowing my dreams. So that's kind of how I got to where I am right now. Um, there's a lot more detail to it, of course, but we don't have all day.
No, but I do love it. I think it's really important because a lot of us who start to serve others, it's because we've come from a place where we were, as you said, an empty shell. And I still remember that feeling
Mm-hmm.
of feeling nothing, no joy, no sadness, no anger. It was just nothing. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's an incredible journey. And it's really good that, everyone can hear this because a lot of the times we have a transformation in our life that just shifts us into this incredible space that we're feeling and that we want to pursue. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. But may I ask,
Yeah,
what
for sure.
is a mindset mentor then?
So what I do is I tell my clients, when I do my workshops and stuff, I tell my clients to write down something that they really want to, some dream, some goal, something that they're just like, yeah, I really, really would like to do that. And then I have them write down all the excuses that come up why they can't. And then, so my job basically after that is to help them um, figure out ways to beat those excuses, to change their beliefs, to change their mind about why they can't. Oh, I don't have money. Well, let's figure out why you don't have money, or let's figure out how we can get you some money. Oh, I have kids. I can't go travel. Well, let's figure out how to, make that happen even though you have kids. I mean, it's just a matter of perspective, right? So my job is to help change those beliefs and those mindsets to an I can instead of can't.
Hmm. No, that's a really good point because a lot of the times people I encounter, there's always something. And one idea I wanted to discuss in the future was the idea of always being busy, because we always say, "Oh, I'm too
Mm-hmm.
busy to do anything. Oh, I'm too busy." But if you
Yes.
really want something, especially change, you're going to make the
Yes.
change. And so part of that, I think,
Mm-hmm.
uh, is being aware of the words you're using to say that. We always say we're busy. Well, busy with what?
Well, and I think as a society, it's a sign of you're doing really well if you can say you're busy. But when you ask what you're doing, then it's like, oh, I'm really busy. Oh, good. Like it's not. I I don't know. I think it's a sign or a thing we need to change in our thinking, in that I have enough time to do everything that I want to do. And that's an affirmation I use all the time, because I have enough time to do everything that I need to do and want to do. So it really does help to change that mindset.
Oh, I love that one as well. And it's so important to set affirmations and intentions, but why would you think it's important to set intentions? I'm always interested to hear other people's take on it.
Well, in my opinion, intentions and clarity go hand in hand. If you're not clear on what you want, if you're kind of like, well, I'd like to do that, or I'd like to do that, if you don't know where or what you're going to do or what you want to do, you're not going to make it happen, first of all, because you don't know what you want to do. And so when you figure out what you want to do, you get clear on that, then you can set the intention of, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to get it. So setting that intention is super important to making the commitment to do what you need to do to make it happen.
I like it. And so I guess with intentions that moves into, manifesting, like you said, having clarity
Yes.
and having being proactive enough, the intention to do something. And so that's one thing I've heard some of my clients say, I've been manifesting, but nothing's happening. And I think that clarity and that proactive behavior as well is really important for that.
Nothing's happening yet.
Exactly.
On our timeline, unfortunately. I'd really like it if they did, because seriously, I could use some stuff right now, but but they don't. So yeah, I don't know. I think that like the universe will only give you what you're clear on. If you're wishy-washy about something, you're gonna get wishy-washy, So it's just a matter of getting clear on what you want and then setting that intention that you are serious about it.
So how can we manifest really powerfully in any form? What would you suggest?
Um, it's I haven't really mastered it yet. I did manifest myself $30,000 to pay off my debt and start traveling. That's the biggest thing I've ever manifested. It's um, it's a tricky, I don't know what to call it, but there's no like, okay, you got to do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then it doesn't work that way. There's no like set rules for manifesting. There are things you can do, but it's not if you do A, B, and C, it'll happen. I think the biggest thing is to first you get clear on what you want, you set the intention. It's like ordering a package from Amazon. You place your order, which is setting your intention,
Mm-hmm.
and then you wait for it to come. So you're not going to sit by the door for 3 days, depending if you have Prime or not, I guess. You're not going to sit by the door and wait for them to deliver your package. You're going to go on with your life. You're going to do everything you do every day. And in the back of your mind that it's going to happen. You just believe that it's going to show up at your door no matter what. So that's how kind of manifesting is that you can't sit there and worry about it. You can't sit by the door and wait for your package. You just gotta let go, basically. It's like wishing on a star. Just make the wish and let it go, and it'll show up in the perfect time. You can't rush it either.
Mm.
Pay attention to your feelings. If you are feeling anxious about it or worried about it, you're just slowing it down. It doesn't help manifest it any faster to sit there and worry about it.
Mm.
Then yeah, I don't know, you just do what you do. It's kind of a contrary. You do what you know. Like when I last year when I manifested the $30,000, I had no idea where it was coming from. And it actually I probably manifested around $60,000 because I needed a bunch of stuff before I could leave on my trip, and it was going to cost me quite a bit. So I manifested a bunch of stuff. I made a list of everything that I would need and how much it would cost, and all my debts, what I needed to pay off and how much they were. Um, yeah, I think that's what I did. Or no, I know that's what I did, but I think that's like the only physical thing I did. I knew that, like, I was into photography at the time, so I knew I had jobs coming and stuff like that. So I kind of knew I had money coming in, but I was still probably at least 40 grand short of my goal. um, and so every day, like 30 times a day, I had my affirmations of I love money and money loves me, that sort of thing. And there was a bunch of them. I love spending money and I love making money. Money comes to me easily, abundantly, and frequently. So just whatever I thought of it, I would say these affirmations, and I wouldn't worry about it. It's gonna happen. I'm leaving in September, and that's it. It's happening regardless. And so August would have been middle of August roughly. I get a call from my ex-husband. He had sold our house, and my check for $30,000 was waiting for me. So there was my money, and that's the rest of what I needed to make happen what I wanted to happen. So I don't know. I there were moments, and you don't have to be perfect all the time to manifest. There were lots of nervous, how the hell am I going to make this happen kind of moments. But you still have to have that belief that it will happen no matter what. So,
Yeah, I
yeah, I
think
don't know.
you touch on some really good points there, because um, I've spoken about manifestation before, and for me, it's a lot of us use affirmations and intentions, but I feel it's more than that. I think it's when we have affirmations, we tend to be thinking them, we tend to keep them in our head, and the trick for me is to actually center it in the heart, so that to make sure it's what I really want. If I'm manifesting just from my head, it comes from a place more of ego. But if I'm coming from the place of the heart, I feel that's where the universe connects better, is with the heart, or more purely. I've tried to manifest before an apartment, and that turned out to be a really not ideal place to live. And I realized, well, wait, why am I moving? Why, trying to figure out. And it was because my manifest, I wanted to manifest, but from here I had to be more specific and clear as to why I wanted to, um, and the purpose, and really connect with my heart. And then I was able to find the right place. And so I think for me, it's really important to come from a place of feeling.
Yeah, feeling is probably the biggest portion of manifesting. I believe that it's Esther Hicks who says, if you're feeling good, and I experienced this, so I believe it to be true. But if you're feeling good, the universe will just throw through. It everything happens so easily, and it doesn't really even take that much effort to manifest things. You basically have to think it, and it'll show up at some point whenever it's ready to. But if you're feeling bad or anxious or negative, or I usually get like this heavy weight on my chest when I'm worried about something. You're sending out resistance to it, so it's going to take longer or not happen at all.
Yeah, or
So I
go wrong.
totally right, exactly, yeah, exactly. Or maybe and maybe if you feel bad about it, it's not something that you really actually want. You're not in a line actually wanting. So maybe that's an indication to rethink, your priorities, or figure out
Yeah.
what it is you actually want. So
Yeah, it's true. And that's the clarity piece. So it sounds like the best
yeah.
way for us to, manifest what we really want is to be clear on what we want, to connect with our feelings, and to have belief, have faith.
Mhm. Yeah, I would say that those are probably the core things.
How, may I ask,
Yes.
how did you did you always have belief or faith, or was it something that clicked for you, or was it something that eventually you fell into? How did you develop the skill of faith and belief?
Well, I've always grown up in a family that was big on faith in God and that sort of thing. So I've always had the kind of faith muscle, but I've never had um, the faith in that I was a co-creator in my life. Um, it was always, your life is what God wants it to be, and um, that's just what it is. You have to be okay with that. Whatever he wants for you is how it goes. And I never, until I started doing the whole self growth thing after I left my ex husband, I um, didn't really believe in law of attraction or the universe or anything like that. Um, so it was a relatively new thing for me, but it was the only thing that was working. So I really developed that rather quickly because it worked. It was, it wasn't something I had to work on. Whatever I was doing was working. So
Hmm.
I kind of just I had faith in it because it worked.
No, it's interesting. It was just a question I was thinking of, because I know prior to, even a few years ago, and even it's a common saying, like, oh, just have faith. Oh, I know it's going to work out, but it's a deeper feeling than that. And for me,
Yeah.
it was a click where it was like, oh no, I have faith. It is going to work out. The universe has my back. And it was just a plain fact out there that there was nothing to argue about. But it wasn't something
Right.
that I'd always had, so that's why I was curious and asking.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that a lot of people have just have faith, it'll all work out, but they don't know why it'll all work out. And I think like you and I have, and lots of other people, it's getting to be more and more people all the time have the awareness now of why it's working out and how you can help it work out faster, kind of thing. So
Mm.
um, I think that that's a big part of it. We're more instead of letting it just kind of happen, just have faith. It's more of I can deliberately have faith now.
Mm.
I know what I'm creating and I know why I'm creating it. So
Awesome.
it's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for explaining manifestation and intention setting. It was awesome to hear your perspective.
Oh, it was my pleasure. It's been great. I loved it.
Good. All right. Well, if any of you guys want to connect with Denise, I'm going to put your information in the post with this video so they can connect with
Perfect.
you. And yeah, it was really lovely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Jackie.
No problem. And I'll see everyone later. Have a good night.